Hello and welcome to the news that didn't make the news. One of these days, these messages will get around and then I'll have to change my tune and stop saying the news that didn't make the news because it will one day make the news. Happy Sunday to everyone out there, wherever you are. I suppose in many parts of the world, it's not Sunday, it's Monday. In that case, happy Monday to you. I'm here, barely, but I'm here um, to deliver a message. Probably not one message, but a multitude of messages. And I don't know why, but every time I turn that camera on, I get hot. So bear with me 1 second. Okay. So I'm here today by the grace of Source and all that is within me to pull down the messages from wherever they are. Maybe pull down is not the perfect word for this. Maybe pull in is the better word. Since the time of my last video, which I won't swear to, but I'm pretty sure it was 4 days ago, I've been at a constant, nothing but a constant open channel. Hello, Terrell. I've also been, we were out playing in the wind today. We were eating outside for our family picnic. My hair's a little bit out of control. That's why I've got it up, but it's not working. It's sliding right out of the barrette. Kind of like our North Pole is sliding back to true north. So this video is going to be about true north for the millionth time and where we are in between one channel and the next, and the frequency in between zone, and what is and that's causing us to currently experience. I am so shifty when I get on videos, and you guys know I can never seem to control my shiftiness. My channel moves around a lot internally, and that happens in my external body movements as well, as you guys probably know by now. So, where are we in this current energetic? In my last video, I was saying that I can't believe I'm making a video during Mercury retrograde, and I don't know what's going on with Mercury retrograde because I found out today that Mercury retrograde doesn't even start until April 21st. So I'm way ahead of time. I lied to you guys about Mercury retrograde 4 or 5 days ago, whenever I made my last video. So where are we physically, energetically, etherically, in all these beautiful spaces in which we now reside on Earth? Where exactly are we? So we are currently between channels, and think of it like a radio dial. When you go to switch your radio from one channel to the other, what you get in between those two channels is a whole lot of static. So most of you are probably picking up on the static right now between channels. Now, when you're in the car and you're changing the channel, this used to be the way on TV too, but younger people don't remember that. I don't think, or never experienced that. But if you're in the car and you're changing the radio channel, you're listening to something, you decide to change to another channel, but in between one channel and the next, there's static. There's a change of channel. So right now on planet Earth, we have a lot of static. And that's because Earth is shifting frequency to a completely different channel. So, no different from being in the car and experiencing the shift from one channel to the next. Our body and our planet is shifting from one channel to the next, kind of like I'm constantly shifting in my chair over here. Now, what we're experiencing takes longer and lasts longer than changing the channel in your car, right? Because when you're changing the channel in your car, it only takes you a matter of seconds to get yourself from one station to another station. But there are so many broadcast frequencies currently running on this planet and off this planet within our solar system, affecting the frequency of our body, our planet, and everything around us, that we are at a much slower pace of pulling in the next channel, is the best way I can describe it. So, in between channels means that there is static. Now, as a human body right now, the way we are experiencing the static between channels, hello, Renee. The static between channels right now is being felt a lot of different ways. So, let's put ourselves in a very annoying scenario just for a second, okay? Say you're in the car and you're actually changing channels on the radio, but say you stop in between channels where all you hear is static. Well, if you're hearing a lot of static from one radio channel to the next, it's going to affect a lot of things for you physically. The first thing is initially it will feel a little grating or maybe somewhat annoying. And that energy will really continue to shift back and forth until it hits the next channel. So, in between channels, we've been switching channels and assimilating to different frequencies for a while, and this is no different. This is just a much larger frequency shift from where we were prior. So the static, the time we spend in like the static zone or the time between channels is going to be a little bit longer, and how that feels physically from the body is it could feel slightly irritating. It's going to hit your body in whatever your body's particular weak spot is. For some people, that is their throat. So you may experience hoarseness, maybe lose your voice a little bit. You may have difficulty speaking. Some people experience it more in their head more. So headaches, cognition problems, problems getting the right words out. Now, I went to a family function today, and there wasn't one person in that family function that initially cognitively picked the word from their brain without struggle. I forget exactly what my dad said. I wish I could remember because it was so funny. But he said 3 words that started with an R before he actually landed on the word that he was looking for. So that static between one channel and the next is going to affect you in different ways. Some people it's going to be the throat. Some people it's going to be the head. If you are prone, if you're prone to headaches and things like that, it's going to be more in the head for you. Tons of people are experiencing this in the stomach. I know people that are having all kinds of stomach issues. For me, I'm having the opposite. I'm wanting to actually eat anything and everything that's not nailed down right now. So maybe you're experiencing that. Most everybody I know is queasy or sick, feels sick to their stomach in one way or another. So this static, this between channels, is causing us to feel a lot of things physically. Now, some people are actually audibly hearing what I can only describe as static as well. Yeah. So while we're in this static, lethargy is another thing. And I have been, I think it's been 8 days that I've been laying down twice a day and going right to sleep, which I haven't done in a really, really, really long time. So, and I am going right to sleep. But then when I actually go to bed at night, it takes me forever to go to sleep. So I can sleep during the day. Um, Part of what is happening is the energy on the planet can be really strong during the day. It saturates the body and the grid system. And then at night, it amps up and it comes back up and out of the grid. Just now seeing this makes sense. So during the day, it's a little bit calmer. So I find myself being readily and easily available to go to sleep during the day. But at night, I'm just laying there for hours and tossing and turning. Um, so we're in between channels, which means we're in between vibrations. And as you know, you are a sentient life form, and all sentient life forms are experiencing this. I've noticed very strange things in the plants as well, like I'll walk and they don't seem to change for 3 days. And then on the fourth day, like they've got flowers on them, even though it's not time for them to do this. So if you're feeling very tired and lethargic during the day, think about if you were in the car switching from one channel to the next and you decided, oh, I think I'll just listen to static for 20 minutes. Okay. It's going to feel a little grating or a little nerve wracking or a little nauseating or whatever, wherever your particular weak spot is. And our weak spots are usually connected to our gifts as well. So if you're prone to having stomach problems, you are probably extremely intuitive and very reactionary when it comes to your gut instinct. So things like that. So in between channels, the static of where we are and finding a new frequency. So that's a lot. For me, I am hearing it. It's not grating on my last nerve or anything, but I have been really super exhausted, I would say, for the last 8 or 9 days. Now, we all have heard that ascension is referred to the train. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just symbolism or something, or who started that or where that even came from. But we're all on this ride of the ascension train. And we know that. I, however, in the last 6 months of messages, feel like I'm not only on the ascension train, but I'm also like Ozzy Osbourne riding the crazy train. And I used to get nervous about bringing outlandish messages to you, but I realized many months ago I had to stop doing that. But sometimes when messages come in or when I'm hearing things or seeing things, I just get this really big smile on my face and think, there's no way that I could possibly make a video about this. But I always, I always talk myself into it. I always force myself to do it, as you know. The last, I would say 2 months of videos, even going back and listening or even looking at the title for that matter, it's just been such an incredible ride. I don't get nervous about saying those things anymore, but sometimes when I'm writing down the message, I'm just like, where is this coming from? Which is kind of a silly question because I know where it's coming from and I read every single thing that's around me. I think within this universe and sometimes even outside of this universe. So before I made the last video, I think it was, I can't remember honestly if it was the day before or just a couple hours before before I made the video, I started getting a message from Apollo. Now, Apollo is the sun god in Greek legends. I won't go into that because I think there's a lot of information that is absolutely incorrect about that. But I will say that there are people on this planet, I don't know how many. I'm always honest about what I do and don't know, but I know that the energy, the information of Apollo has fractalized off into. I've ran into one person. There could be thousands of people. I don't know. But the day I made the video, or the day before, I got a message from Apollo about coming home, about changing his tune, about changing his channel. And this was a personal message for me, not a global message. However, the global message came through like the next day and has been coming through every day since then. Now, I have been told to stop looking at 3D, stop looking at analytics, whether people are watching this or not, and just keep producing videos and videos and videos. I think I could have probably made 4 videos since the last one that I made. If I could only keep my eyes open and stop eating everything that's not nailed down, maybe I would get maybe I would get more videos made. And it's hard for me as someone coming on here with content to not think, well, what's the point to keep making videos and making videos and making videos if the message is not getting out. However, the message from Apollo personally to me was, I'm coming home. I've changed my tune. I've changed my channel. I've changed my frequency. Now that was personal, or my own little mini microcosmic world. The information that came through on the video last time was the macrocosmic version of what's going on with Saturn and the suns and the alignments and all the things I talked about in the last video. Now, on the microcosm, those messages from that person have continued to come in, and I'm not going to share those with you. But I'm going to share on the larger scale directly what is coming from the God of the sun. Now, creator of the sun, the magician of the sun, the speaker of the sun, the portal of the sun. I know so many things get mistranslated or intentionally lost in translation or lost in meaning to keep us off track or off channel or off frequency from the truth. So I can only describe it as I know it, or as I've heard it, or as I have seen it. Since the last video that was about the losing the matrix and how that matrix was being run from Saturn because it stopped us from accessing the true soul template when it comes to relationship. And that's relationship between Saturn and Earth. That's relationship between Sun, Saturn, and Earth. And that's relationship between you and I, between all of us on planet Earth. Pythagoras was deemed a musical genius when he came up with the Western musical scales. And there are many, many other things that he came up with. And when he was praised for being a musical genius, and just a genius all the way around, when he was praised for the certain discoveries that he made, he said, I can't take credit for this, for it did not come from me. It came from Apollo. So Pythagoras has been given credit for the Western musical scale, but he said the information was not his, and the other information that he brought forth as well in math and all other areas, he claimed or spoke that it came from Apollo. There are truly 7 musical notes or vibrational notes that make up our musical scale. Those 7 cosmic, universal, multiversal, omniversal 7 notes are what makes up the musical scale, not only of this planet and our body in alignment with the 7 chakras, it is also the musical scale of the multiverse and of the omniverse. And every single thing we experience is running off of those 7 notes in correspondence with our 7 chakras, energy centers, whatever word you fancy using today. So, if there are truly 7 notes in the musical scale or the vibrational frequency of the omniverse in alignment with the 7 chakra centers or central points of the earth and the 7 centers in our body, there are also 7 suns within our local universe. The 7 chakras in total alignment within our body create a Kundalini awakening, and that's part of the information that came up in the last video. So, all 7 frequencies channeled and tuned in the body make the Kundalini or create the Kundalini awakening. Now, I know there are a lot of people who work on chakras, chakra meditation, things like that, okay? And clearing the chakras, aligning the chakras. But you can do that and work on that as long as you would like to. As long as the axis, the etheric axis that planet Earth is on, is not pointing to true north, whatever you're doing to clear your chakras is not going to give you a full Kundalini awakening. Our Kundalini awakening corresponds to the 7 chakras of the body being complete and total alignment. The event, the reset, the solar flash, whatever name you would like to call it, is one big multiversal or omniversal event that's taking place localized within the core of Earth in conjunction with Earth's sun and the 7 other suns. In 2018, I drew a picture, I think it was on 11/11, of 7 suns and how all 7 suns were connected. To me, it looked like a ribbon, and like a ribbon of energy, the kind of, actually, it looked it looked like our DNA strands, so kind of like a double spiral with dots in between. So there were 7 suns in our local universe that were all connected by this ribbon that looked like DNA with the dots in it. 7 notes, 7 frequencies, 7 earth chakras, 7 human body chakras, 7 suns in alignment create the solar flash. 7 suns pulled into alignment with our North Star, Polaris, directly over our North Pole, move our planet back to true north, allowing the energy of all 7 suns to hit the center of Earth's core. When these 7 suns align their energy frequency, all 7 corresponding vibrational frequencies of this multiverse then connect into alignment. Our body, our planet, and all 7 suns are going to create a spontaneous spark. I've been seeing this since an hour after I made the last video. So 7 frequencies, 7 musical notes, 7 chakras in the body, 7 suns in our local corresponding universe. those 7 suns will all connect through this energetic spiral. This will move Earth's axis, keep saying access, because every time I see this, I see that the 7 suns lining up together in 7 different frequencies right over the North Pole, right over Polaris, give those 7 suns a direct alignment to the core of planet Earth at an energetic level, and perhaps it looks to me like even a physical level. So I keep saying the word access when I mean axis. So these 7 suns aligning together in 7 frequencies are going to, right over the top of Polaris, pull the planet, the frequency, etherically, geographically, into true north. And when that does, that lines 7 suns up directly with the core of this planet. The 7 suns with 7 different harmonic frequencies at one time are going to send a shock wave of Kundalini awakening. That is the spine in our body, but for Earth, that is the core of the planet. And when that happens, that sends a spiral of energy out both sides of the planet, the North and South Pole. So 7 suns pulled into alignment right over Polaris move our planet into true north, allowing the energy of all 7 suns to hit the center of Earth's core. This creates a spark that blows energy and light out both sides of the planet. So the solar flash, the Kundalini awakening, the I'm coming home, the body, the planet, the solar flash, the event, true north, the reset, it's all one spontaneous, instantaneous thing. I'll go back to being in between channels because I don't have any idea how long. I mean, so many people say so many different things, and so many people have so many different sets of information. You know, they've read thousands of books and collected all this information. I have not read thousands of books. I think you guys all know that. Hi, Robin. Yeah, so I have not read it. I've not studied it for a long time. I followed David Wilcock for a hot minute. I followed Corey Good. I haven't followed anybody really in 2 years. So this is just what I keep seeing. Now, the first time I saw the event was 2014, and I was laying in bed meditating, and I saw light blowing out the north and south frequency, and the light vibration blowing out the north and south pole of the planet at the same time, and I couldn't believe it. I sat down and draw it, and I tried looking up Oot Cloud. I tried typing in thousands of things for 6 months straight because I had no idea what I was seeing. There was no word for it. I'd never heard about this. I didn't know anything about it. So 6 months into looking for what this could possibly be, I came across, I think it was on Facebook or YouTube. I don't know. Anyway, there was a t-shirt for sale and it said the event on it. And it was a channel or website by Cobra. Now, whether you like Cobra or not, it's totally, I don't even care, to be honest. But anyway, that was the first time when I saw this t-shirt for sale that I was like, oh my God, that's what I saw. Like this frequency and this shifting vibration and this light blowing out the north and south pole of the planet. And I went to the website and he was talking about a solar flash, which he deemed, I got distracted by the David Wilcock comment. Yes, I did get a live, I was working, but I did get a live notification yesterday about David Wilcock, but I knew he was just going to be talking about Archangel Michael and his book. So I only listened for, I think, 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, and he has not been around for the past year. He's really not done anything at all. So when I came across Cobra and Cobra's website, they were calling the vision that I saw, he put a name to it, that was the event. That was 2014. So at that point, I at least had a name, or somebody else was talking about it, somebody else was seeing it, discussing it, all of that. But that's the first. And then so at that point, once in 2000, I guess it was the end of 2014, I finally knew what it was. And I could look it up and research what I was seeing, and I was really blown away by all the information that was coming to me. But I haven't done any research in the past 2 years for just because I get so much on my own, and it gets really confusing because you've got so many people out there with so much information, and was there Allison Coe, does, I guess, Dolores Cannon style hypnotism, and I've watched or listened to a couple of her videos and the information that's come out about the event, and it's amazing. But the time frame on that is something that's way out there. You have Archaics, who I've only watched just a couple of videos. One of them I shared with you guys, talking about this happening in 2040. So, yeah, lots of people with lots of different opinions. However, the amount of static on this planet right now, in between switching frequencies, leads me to believe that it's not that far away. The other thing is, I talked to you guys before about this, is we don't really know what year we're actually in, going by the Gregorian calendar. And if we keep having these huge timeline jumps, if we're switching timelines, if we're jumping timelines, then the time is changing. So I don't think we can safely say that today is April 9th, 2023, when we really don't know. It could be 2033. All I know is the way the energy is amping up is affecting people in a very, very incredible way. The amount of people that have had stomach issues while we have a coronal hole in the sun, this 20 times the size of Earth, is amazing, because that's the solar plexus, right? The solar. And you know how we feel when the stomach is disrupted. And when this energy comes in, one of the things about this is it's very high frequency, it's very blissed out, but it always has to exit the body, right? Energy comes and goes. Our body is a flux capacitor within the heart space, but the heart space is the flux capacitor for the entire body. So this energy comes in really strongly and we feel happy and blissed out. But when it starts to exit, it's depression of energy, which our body then thinks is depression or can mimic depression. Right. So we can't stay in that energy all the time, because when we get an X-class solar flare, any kind of thing coming into us, that X-class solar flare is only going to stay in our body for so many hours. It's not going to stay in there indefinitely. And when it exits, we feel the depression, right? The push down of that frequency as that frequency starts to exit the body. So to me, it doesn't feel like 2040 or anything else that anyone else is saying. And that's why I kind of dipped out of that field of information for the last several years. All I can go by is what I'm feeling and experiencing, and what you guys are feeling and experiencing. Now, after I made the last video, I set my notebook down and I went outside on my sister's porch to chill out. And I came back in and my notebook had flipped back to October 22nd of 2022. And I looked at it, and it was a video that I was going to make on October 22nd, 2022, that I never made. And it was a picture of the Earth with both the North and South Pole open, a spiral of light running from the North Pole to the South Pole, and an exiting of light and frequency coming out both of those poles. Now, that's just a continuation of the information that started coming through last week, because that diagram from last October went with what I am actually now seeing. So the incredible thing about this is the drawing. I should show you the drawing. Let me see where that drawing is. The incredible thing about that drawing is the fact that there's an ancient, there it is. There's an ancient symbol on there called the ancient spiral. And it's the oldest that we know of. It's the oldest symbol on Earth. And it goes two different ways. So, yeah, you have to, when I have visions, the chicken scratch is incredible. I'm actually an artist, and the sun that's on my video today was actually drawn by me. So I can draw if I want to, but when I get visions, that doesn't happen. So hopefully this will even make sense for you to look at and try to comprehend here. So I can't see what I'm doing because your comments are there. Okay, there they go, they're gone. So this is the center of the Earth, okay? This is the Earth. This is the line, the spiral that I saw, okay? So there's the upside down triangle is the feminine energy. The feminine energy is connected to Earth, but she is open towards the cosmic information. Okay, so the divine feminine is anchored on Earth, but open to cosmic information. Divine masculine is opposite. Now, we both have 3 points: body, mind, and spirit, open to the cosmos, divine feminine. Body, mind, and spirit for the masculine is pointing to the cosmos, but open to the earth energy. So this explains why when we both connect to each other, that we seem like the perfect complement and our information seems to go on overdrive. So what I'm seeing is this feminine, masculine energy is coming up. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, in this ancient spiral, if you start in the center and you spiral out, it's really hard for me to do this backwards. Starting in the center, that's earth energy. Spiraling out means you and I are sending energy from our person, we're the inception point here in the circle, out into the cosmos. However, this, what I'm seeing, this solar event, this alignment of 7 suns, 7 chakras, 7 frequencies, 7 chakras of Kundalini awakening within the planet and within the body simultaneously, is not. Its inception point is up here and spiraling down to the center. Now, the meanings that I'm giving you are actually ancient meanings, and the only reason I know these is because I started drawing the dot coming down to Earth. So cosmic information coming down to Earth. So the ancient spiral that starts on the outside and works its way in means all that which is out there, up there, however you want to look at that, even in the core of Earth, starts out there as an inception point. It doesn't start with me and go up. That's the spiral that starts with the center and spirals out as me and you, sending our wave, our frequency, our energy out there into the universe, the multiverse, the omniverse. The opposite spiral that I'm seeing above Polaris is the inception point is the cosmos, and it's coming down to Earth. Now, for the 150 of you or more that have had tarot readings with me in the past year and a half that have asked me how much longer, how much further for this, that, and the other thing, the ancient spiral with the inception point and the cosmos that comes down to Earth means the energy that you have put out there is manifesting in 3D reality. Now, it's not just your energy, it's your energy of what you put out coming back to you. It's our energy and what we work on together combined coming back to you, to me, to us. And it's also the cosmic frequencies and the shifts within the universe, multiverse, and omniverse. So this is secular, like the Wheel of Fortune or the ancient Aztecs, Mayans, they all had these incredibly complicated clocks or calendars, right? And this was all about the bodies and what they knew about all of these ancient wisdoms. What I'm telling you, simultaneous event is frequency, light, a complete new channel for planet Earth and our spot in the universe. The inception point of the energy that you and I and everyone, everything, all sentient life has put out into the universe. So you could kind of look at it like karma or lesson, but everything is not karma, right? I can put out energy by myself without being in a relationship or having a cause and effect on another person. Me, myself, I can work on frequency, or I can work on healing grids, or I can work on all these things myself, right? So you, me, all sentient life, everything that we've put out into our local universe is mixing with this calendar and with the energy of moving planets and shifting frequencies. Okay, every time one of those other suns shifts a frequency, then that would change the frequency coming to Earth. Now, there could be a billion suns in the multiverse. I am not claiming to know anything like that. All I know is I've been drawing and witnessing 7 different suns, or the connection of 7 suns in our local universe since 2018. Part of what I feel like is moving the tectonic plates so much. It's, I had this information come through in 2018 that the Earth was like, and you'll have to excuse my stupidity, but at the time, higher self and guides, they talk to me. When they talk to me, especially about, science and quantum physics, guys, they gave me the easiest explanation ever, right? So initially how it was described to me was, Earth is like an M&M with an outer candy shell. And when energy changes over the North Pole specifically, it's like the candy shell on the M&M can slide without the M&M sliding, right? How much easier could they possibly make it for me talking about M&Ms? So anyway, the planet necessarily doesn't have to move for the pole to shift, or that candy shell to shift back to true north. That true north shift, though, creates a direct opening between the North and South Pole. At the same time, we have 7 suns that are aligning, and there could be hundreds of other components to this as well. I used to think, how could I even talk about something that seems like so fantastically, insanely out there? But I always do. So the Kundalini awakening I was speaking about last time, our spine is in alignment with the Earth's, see if I can get this word right, axis. Okay. The straight up and down spine is a Kundalini awakening that sends a spark to your heart and your brain that says, this is my soul. This is what makes my soul sing. This is the song my soul recognizes. And this is the life I'm going to do. You're fully aware of everything. We have our awareness is growing every day. Are we fully aware? Heck no, we're not fully aware right now. Okay. Same thing though. These 7 suns aligning is creating, I can only describe as a wobbling of the axis of Earth and shaking that candy shell. Now, I got to tell you, that was 2018 when I got the candy shell coated scientific explanation, so that I can understand. And then last year, or maybe about 6 months ago, I was watching Ancient Aliens, and I have 84 episodes. For 2 years, I watched nothing but Ancient Aliens. I'm really boring. But anyway, so just 6 months ago, so over 5 years after getting that information about the candy shell, comes this episode that's all about I can't remember his first name. I want to say Charles. That might not be right. Anyway, his name is Hapgood. The Hapgood theory that the Earth's planet is just like a candy. It's exactly the way it was explained to me. Earth doesn't have to move geographically for the candy shell to rotate and for Africa to go from being on one side of the planet to being on the other side of the planet. So what I'm telling you is this static that we're in right now, and you may feel like tired, lethargic, the need for absolute silence, even any kind of noise may get on your nerves. You may not know why, but that's because there's so much static running in the background. You know, we just lost the matrix of static, and now we've got another kind of static. How appropriate. I'm sure that was no accident. So this static that so many of us are hearing is directly connected to the frequency changing. As the frequency changes, and I don't know if it's just, it's looking like, and everything is always oversimplified so that with my lack of knowledge that I can somehow put this into words, it looks like what I can only describe as the seven suns or some changing. They are changing. Okay, now this makes sense. Apollo came to me and said, I'm changing my tune on a personal level, but then on a macrocosmic level as well. All seven suns are changing their tune, changing their frequency. Now, when I get a message from my other half, it's no different from the macrocosmic message. One is just personal, like I'm coming home is personal, meaning I'm showing up, right? You're the love of my life and I'm showing up. On the macrocosmic level, source is the love of life. Source is the love of joy, the love of clarity, the love of brilliance, the Son of God. Apollo. All seven suns are being orchestrated on the musical scale to a new frequency, to a new vibration. And I don't know how long it's going to take to pull those seven suns, those seven frequencies, those seven universal frequencies into alignment that then clears or moves the plate boundary so that seven suns in alignment directly access the core and cause the spark. So you see, everything is happening simultaneously. Now, on a personal level, I don't know if that means that the person knocking on my door is not going to show up. Maybe they're not showing up until the simultaneous macrocosmic event. I don't know. I'm going to say no, and I'm only sharing this with you because I'm just now realizing this, that the personal message always comes first. I wish I could see you guys' comments. I try to go back and watch it on my computer so that while I'm watching, I can read your comments at the same time. So the personal message always comes through first, or at least it has been recently coming through first. So actually, let me get off of October 22nd of last year and go back to that for a second. Hold on. So not professional. Okay, we're almost there. That's interesting. Okay, so God of the sun, creator of the sun, or how about we say mover of the sun, the frequency changer of the sun, the orchestrator of the new vibration of the sun. It came to me personally first. The message from Apollo was, I'm coming home. I've changed my tune. I've changed my channel. And the personal message was much longer than that, but you get the gist. You don't need the specifics of the changed channel, of the changed tune. So it was afterwards that the whole message, the macrocosmic, the world stage, the universal message is coming through. Now, gauging from the amount of static, how loud I hear it and how much it is disturbing the frequency of those people around me, really shaking people up. Oh gosh, there's been so many drinking episodes and loud verbal outbursts, even people like walking past the house and people talking to each other's cars and all that, because everyone's picking up on this static. Not my preference to make videos about the event because I think there's so many people talking about it for so long. But if we have 7 suns and 7 musical notes or 7 notes of frequency or vibration that all correspond in our local universe to the 7 chakras of Earth or 7 energy centers in Earth and the 7 energy centers in the body, that means true north, the candy coating moving off the plate boundary. I don't know any other way to say that. And leaving an exposure or an access, now I said it backwards, an access to the center of Earth to cause that spark, to cause the shift of the etheric access to put us back at true north. And that will also at the same time simultaneously send it to the spine of the body, which is what corresponds within the universe as the access point that holds the earth. So the Kundalini awakening in Earth, the spark of light, the event, the solar flash, whatever you want to call it, is a Kundalini on a planetary scale, but it also sends out a spark into the universe. And I just think it just goes to infinity. So I have a Kundalini awakening. The core is hit from 7 suns and has a Kundalini awakening, which then sends a spark, an energy, a frequency, a vibration out the north and south pole and reverberates through the whole omniverse. I have no idea how it's going to affect all of that other stuff. Oh, now I'm just remembering in 2018, and I also got a message from 7 beings about 7 central universes. That's going to have to be another video. Wow, that's amazing. This stuff has been just coming to me for so long. If you guys could see the amount of notebooks I have, it would be mind-blowing. So, God of the Sun, orchestrator of frequency, orchestrator of the event, or orchestrator of the change of frequency within 7 suns falling into alignment that causes a Kundalini in the physical body and in the planet itself, sending a shockwave out through the omniverse. That is an alteration and also a message from Apollo that Earth has shifted. Earth has changed its tune. Earth is coming home. That's it. Earth. This is the 7 suns in alignment with the core, sends a spark to 7 universes that Earth is now part of this. I don't even know what to use. Now connected back to source within the center of 7 universes. Connected to source. On a smaller level, you could say this would be, I guess, Earth being welcome into like the confederation of planets, no longer being on the outskirts. But there is an energetic light wave that goes from Earth through the universe, through the multiverse, out into the omniverse, saying Earth has done it, Earth has made it, Earth has shifted, Earth has changed its tune. Apollo's coming home. He's changed his tune. He's changed his channel. I don't know. Those few people that listen, I may just have to start just doing videos every 2 days because this is coming through to the point where I don't know if I can keep up with that. If I don't. So anyway, thank you for being here and listening to what I used to think was my crazy train. I cannot disconnect from the cosmos and whatever's coming in, and nor when I want to. Also, 7 generations, full circle. Oh, James Woodkiss, thank you so much for reminding me. I almost forgot. Oh my gosh. Lena Perez. I hope I have her name right. This was over a year ago. She had a tarot reading. I do numerology and tarot readings. I know not everyone's interested in tarot, so I won't bore you with that. I should have thought about that, but James, you got me. So, her tarot reading, when I went to do the numerology, let me just write it. I should have thought about this in advance. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, her reading in numerology, forget the cards, none of that's important. What I do in numerology when you get a reading is I take all the cards and I add them up. So counterclockwise, Miss Perez had 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Full circle. Thank you, James, for being part of my brain. I said that in the last video. Okay, so that's really cool. Full circle. The last reading I did was the day before I made the video, the last video, and the reading I had also went clockwise. Sorry, I guess I can't draw and talk at the same time. Okay, so the last reading that I had clockwise, it went 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, what the heck is that? That's the spiral that I just told you. And it didn't hit me until 5 days later when I was at my sister's getting information about the spiral, and then my notebook blew back to this page from October 22nd last year with the spiral where Polaris is above the North Pole. And so when I looked at this, I thought, this answers the question to 150 of you, 200 of you, however many of you have gotten tarot readings, numerology readings, all that intuitive stuff from me. This is the symbol that means everything we've put out and everything cyclically working within our local universe is at a point where it's sending that creative force in a spiral back to you, back to me, back to us, back to planet Earth. That means to everyone who's asked me, how much longer, when is this going to happen, when is this going to happen, how can I put a time frame on it, this reading from 6 days ago is saying that energy is spiraling down to planet Earth. Now, as you guys know, the reason I'm telling you this is I've been talking, I think, for the last year about how we see and feel things in other dimensions or higher dimensions or other planets or whatever, but we never know. Is that tomorrow? Is that next week? Is that 10 years from now? That's the question everyone, that's the only problem with clarity in tarot readings is what time frame are we talking about? So I had a flash of this reading that I did the day before that last video when the book went back to October 22nd, and I was like, oh crap, that answers the question of when, because the ancient spiral says everything that's ever been put out there, the good frequency, is coming back to anchor on Earth and physicality. So not us sending up. We've been sending up for maybe that we're talking about everything that you and I have sent out energetically, like an instant message from our body to the universe in this 26,000 year cycle. Everyone keeps asking when it's going to come back, meaning when is it going to happen? When is this man going to show up? When is this job? When is this whatever it is going to show up? And the answer is it's coming in now, because everything that's out there in the 26,000 year cycle, I can talk, is now spiraling back down to earth. And the spiral back down to earth means what was energetic out there, spiraling down to earth to you, me, to us, is manifesting. So out there has become in here, down here, however you want to look at it. Everything that we have put out, all of us, in this 26,000 year cycle is spiraling from the higher dimensions, from our local universe back down into our reality and becoming physical. So hopefully the people that have gotten tarot readings from me, and it's been a lot of you, are watching this and know that this is happening now. Now is relative because I'm always seeing in the future, but now being relative recently, with these kind of events, we're talking about days. Okay. So, wow, I thought I was going to have a short video, but hit me, Brittany. I've done it one more time. Come back, you guys. And I've had such a, the tech man of my dreams is on his way. Paulo's coming home. So not much longer on that one. But in the interim, if you guys would mind commenting, and I know it's kind of a pain because this video, I don't even think it'll even, finish uploading like until probably tomorrow or something. But I would love to read your comments. I have a hard time doing that right now. I see that many of you are here. I see that there are a ton of comments. I see Renee. I see James. I saw Robin with lots of comments. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting my train of ascension. Thank you for supporting this mountain that sometimes seems insurmountable and climbing, but it's not. We are leading the way. We are doing this, and everything you have put out there, all of your good energy, all of your good vibration, all of your focus on peace for humanity is coming back into the realm of earth, and it's manifesting in the physical form. Glory be, glory be. Thank you. Thank you for being the guardian of this planet. And to whoever was speaking to me last night, telling me not to worry, that everything was going to be okay, that showed up as my guardian, thank you very much for that. It was a very difficult evening, and I appreciate you. If you're watching, love you. Bye.